How to keep a Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 computer running properly in 14 steps. These are geared towards the non-techie minded PC users. And for the more advanced users, a few things that you're probably not aware of that will give you quick fixes to complicated problems without getting too deep into the issue at hand. So basically anyone should be well capable of using them to keep their computers running correctly. These are the only steps you will ever need to keep a PC running correctly and save you money by not buying poor best software for implementing a maintenance plan. And when you do have a problem, built into these 14 steps is a fix for that issue, whether it's hardware or software. All common problems users encounter on their computers. I will show you how to fix those problems at the end of this video, and these fixes are very easy to implement and use, and they will fix thousands of different problems, common ones and the not so common ones. Now, as a computer technician, these are the 14 steps I use to sort out most computer problems, with the exception being networks and computers integrated into networks. But your standalone computers, your home devices like desktops, laptops, netbooks, notebooks and tablets. So let's run through all 14 steps that are used to keep a PC running properly, well into the future and beyond if you follow step 14 correctly. I will show you the 14 steps and then show you how to implement each step. And these steps are all free and already installed on your Windows computer, with the exception being malware protection, which I will show you how to download, install and run, and this program is also free. So we'll start there now with step 1. Step 1. Removing software, programs and apps you do not use. This will free up disk space and, more importantly, resources and services, and removes the issue caused by update execution. This increases the efficiency and reliability of your system and takes 1 minute once a week. So, step 1. Removing software, programs and apps you do not use. And the best way to do this on Windows 8 is to go to the desktop, go down here to the little icon. This is Windows 8.1. Windows 8 will be just, you come down here and right click, go up here to Control Panel and go to Uninstall a program. Now if it's in categories, if it's in large icons or small icons, it will be programs and features, this guy here. Okay, so we'll go back to categories. So you go to uninstall a program, and this is where you uninstall all the programs that are on your computer. Now for a demonstration I'm going to uninstall Google Chrome. So if you just click on it once, you'll see this uninstall button open. So just click uninstall, or if you want to uninstall it this way, just double click on Google Chrome. So we're just going to click uninstall here and uninstall Google Chrome. Are you sure you want to uninstall Google Chrome? Also delete your browser data. Click on that guy as well and then click uninstall. So you do this for programs that you don't want and you don't use on your computer. This is how you get rid of them. And you should, because if you're not using them, all they're doing is using up resources and services on your computer. Now it's opened a window out on the internet, sending you out for an explanation of why you want to uninstall it, but it doesn't matter. You just close it and that's it. That's step 1 done. So you could have loads of programs here and you can uninstall all of them. Anything that's in here you can uninstall, with the exception being anything with Microsoft Corporation on it, or you do need to check certain ones. So if you need help with that, let me know here. I'd be more than delighted to help. Step 2. Cleaning startup. Remove programs from the startup menus. Sets quicker times, frees up memory, services and reduces startup problems. Takes 2 minutes every 2 weeks. So now step 2, cleaning startup. Again, go to the Windows icon here at the bottom left corner and go up here to Task Manager. So this, go over here to Start Up. So these are the programs that start when your computer starts. And what they do is they slow down the startup times, and they also use memory, services and resources on your computer, and it can have an effect of slowing down your computer. These will be automatically on and sitting on your taskbar, so you don't want that. So I'm going to show you how to uninstall or remove Skype. This is just a particular program from your startup menu. So all you do is you click it once to highlight it, and then go down here to disable. And you do the same thing with any program that you want to stop running at startup. Okay, then just click disable, and that's it, disabled now. You can see it there, status disabled. So that will not start when your computer starts. And again, as I said, you can do that to all programs that you see in this list of startup programs. Step 3, cleaning up your drive. Disk cleanup is the name of the program. You must run every day, but once a week is good enough. Removes all unnecessary files and data from your drive. If it's set up correctly, increases efficiency and maintains speed of your system. So step 3, cleaning up your drive using disk cleanup. So come up here to the top left hand corner and click on the search, and then type in disk cleanup, and go down here to disk cleanup, click on that guy, and the third one down here is free up disk space by deleting unnecessary files. And this will bring you back to the desktop, and it'll start searching for files to clean up, and then this disk cleanup window will open. So basically everything in this file can be cleaned up. Everything that it's showing, just tick all the boxes down along. Right, so it's going to, the total amount of disk space gained will be 14.4 megabytes. It will be larger for you. This is a very small version of Windows 8. And you can clean up system files again by cleaning up the system's restore points, if you like. Then all you do then is click OK once you have everything ticked, and you'll see disk cleanup. Are you sure you want to permanently delete these files? And then just click delete files, and this will take a few minutes, a couple of minutes if you have a lot of stuff that needs cleaning up. And usually it'll only take less than 30 seconds if you run this program every few days, and once it's finished, it'll just disappear. So that's disk cleanup done. Step 4, organizing your drive. To set it up correctly takes about 2 minutes, runs on autopilot and keeps files and folders tidy. Will maintain fast and efficient data searching. This runs automatically by default, but needs to be optimized correctly for your PC. Disorganized data will slow your PC, cause errors and damage your drive. This is an exception to the rule. Disk defragmenter should not be run if you have a solid state drive. And once you install a solid state drive, it will turn off disk defragmenter. So you won't have to worry about it if you have a solid state drive. Solid state drives work in a different way than your disk drives, your normal drives that are in most computers. Now, step 4, organizing your files on your disk. So basically you just come over here to Documents, File Explorer, and go to your local C drive, the one that has the Windows sign over it. Right click and go down here to Properties, and local disk properties will open, and go to the second tab there, Tools, and you'll see Optimize and Defragment Drive. So click on Optimize. If you have a solid state drive, this should not be turned on, because a solid state drive it works differently than a disk drive. So if you have a disk drive, make sure that disk defragmenter is turned on. So you can check the settings, optimize schedule, run it on a schedule, weekly or monthly or daily, and weekly is good enough. Okay, notify me if 3 consecutive schedule runs are missed. It's good to know that it hasn't ran in a couple of days, so make sure that that box is ticked as well. Okay, so that's disk defragmenter. Again, as I said, if you have a solid state drive, it won't be running. If you have a disk drive, you have to run. It should be running automatically on your system. So that's disk defragmenter. Step 5, leaving 15% of free space on your drive. It takes about 1 minute once every week. If you save a lot of data, once a week is good enough, and once a month if you don't. So if you don't save a lot of data, then once a month is good enough to check it. This step is extremely important. Leaving space vacant on your drive allows your computer to move data efficiently without slowing down, and drives full to capacity will cripple your PC. Now, step 5, checking to make sure that there's about 15% of your drive free. So I have an example here of a drive that needs to be freed up. So basically what you do is you remove files and pictures and music and videos and documents that you're not using all the time, and place them on an external drive. Increase the amount of free space that's on the drive. So it's very important to do this. So it'll usually be local disk C that you'll be looking at. Is to go to Properties and the General tab, and you'll see this little graph showing how much of the used space that's on it and the free space that's on the drive. So just make sure that it's not going past about 15%, which will be kind of this angle here. And plus the fact, if it is low on free space, like this drive here, it'll show up in red, and if it's okay, it'll show up in blue. Okay, so it's important that you do that, because if you don't, the drive, your computer will slow down if it's full to capacity. Okay, and it's the same procedure if you have a disk drive or a solid state drive. Make sure that it never fills completely, because it needs space to do certain things on the drive. Okay, so that's leaving 15% of your drive free at all times, which is step 5. Step 6, antivirus. Setting it up takes about 2 minutes and runs on autopilot. The most overlooked and misunderstood area of a PC. Very important not only for catching malicious software, but how efficient at updating and giving real-time protection with no resource hogging when set up properly. So we'll be using a free, in Windows 8 it's called Windows Defender, and it's already installed on your computer, so we'll be showing you that in a few moments. Now, step 6, antivirus protection and malware protection on your computer. So this is step 6 and step 7. So if you click on search and go WINDOWS Windows Defender, it'll show up there at the top. Click on that and it'll show it will be on. Now if it's a thing that Windows Defender is turned off, right, and you have another antivirus software installed like Norton or McAfee, remove them, and then once you have them removed, turn on Windows Defender. Now if you're just after getting your computer, same story, it's turned off by default, so you have to turn on Windows Defender. So you can go down here to the Action Center, click on that little flag there, and you'll see 2 important messages. Now if you don't see that, go to the bottom left hand corner, right click and go to Control Panel and go in here to System Security and then into Action Center, and you'll see Spyware and Unwanted Software Protection important, and it's turned off at the moment, so you can turn that on. And Virus Protection important, Windows Defender is turned off. So the 2 of them, so one is for spyware and malware and the other one is for viruses. So turn on the top one there and it will start Windows Defender for you. So then go to Settings, make sure that the administrator turn on this app is on and real-time protection, that box there is ticked, and then check for updates. This happens automatically when real-time protection is on. Okay, so then do your first scan or whatever and it'll be set then for a specific time. Sorry, it won't be set for a specific time, it'll be on real-time protection, so it'll be constantly, it'll do a check every now and then, probably once a day, and that's pretty much it. And if you feel that you have virus, do a scan with this and it'll usually catch the mild spyware or viruses or malware. But as I said, you need a second malware protector, and Malwarebytes works very well with Microsoft Security Essentials or Windows Defender. So that's how you turn it on if it's turned off, and make sure that you uninstall that software, that spyware malware protector, Norton or McAfee. Uninstall that. So you can go to programs and features to uninstall that if you can't find the uninstall application that came with that software. Okay, so now we move on to Malwarebytes, which will protect you from the more robust kind of malware and spyware that your computer can encounter out online, or when you're downloading stuff, it can come in through downloading different programs. Okay, step 7, malware spyware protection. Setup time takes about 5 minutes, must be run every day, well every 2 to 3 days anyway, at least. Can be set to run on autopilot if you purchase the full version of Malwarebytes, which is about $25 a year. Again, very important, not only for catching malicious software, but how efficient at updating and giving real-time protection with no resource hogging when set up properly. Now there's a lot of confusion about malware spyware protection and antivirus protection. You can't really have both in one program. you do need two separate programs, and the two that I've picked work perfectly together. Malware protection is a slightly different fish. So this will be step 7 on that 14-step system I was showing you. So with Windows Defender, right, this program is real-time protection really for viruses. Now you also need something to catch malware and spyware. Now this will catch some malware and spyware, but not all. So you need a more robust program to actually protect yourself against malware and spyware. And Malwarebytes is actually the best one on the market. So I'm just going to show you the site, and I have videos already on how to download it and install it. So Malwarebytes, you see it there, and it's .org. Okay, so it's the first one here. Don't mind the ads. Down here to this one, free antivirus malware, internet security software. So there's two options. You can buy it for $25 a year, or you can get the free version download. So click on the free version download. Download now. And basically all you do is you run this once or twice a week, and it'll keep all the malware out of your computer. You'd be surprised how much malware gets down through downloads that you do and when you're out searching on the internet. So save file. This is Mozilla Firefox that we're downloading it with. This is the browser, and it can take a few minutes to download. There it is, downloaded. So just click on that little arrow, double click on that guy, and this file will open file security warning. Okay, so click on run, and then your user account control will ask you, do you want the following program to make changes to this computer? Click yes. So now select setup language for Malwarebytes, which is English or whatever language you are. Click OK, and then it'll go to the setup program. Click next. I accept the agreement. Click next. 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 Click next and create a desktop icon. Make sure that guy is ticked, and click next. Now click install, and it'll take a few minutes to install. Now once it's installed, enable free try of Malwarebytes Premium. Untick that box. This is because we want the free version only, and launch it if you want to run it straight away. We're not going, we will, so we'll click on the launch so that you can launch it straight away. So click finish, and Malwarebytes will open up. You see it here, it's now installed on the desktop. So now it's doing checking for updates. So it does this automatically. You can change the settings, but usually the default settings are fine with this. So it's a free malware protector, so you don't get real-time protection. If you want real-time protection, you'll have to pay $25 every year for this service, and it's pretty good. It's well worth the $25. So it's just checking the updates there now. So now it's just after finishing checking the updates. So you click on scan now. You just run a scan, and I'll get back to you once it's finished. And if I find something, I'll show you how to remove it. So the scan was finished there, and a scan completed successfully, and no malicious items were found. Now if there was items found, it would show up here, and it would give you the option to remove those files. So you'd click on remove malware, and then you tick the box and then click remove. I will be doing a video as soon as I have a few malwares on a computer to show you how to do that. So you'll see it in one of the videos on my YouTube channel anyway. Okay, so that's the antivirus and malware protection, step 6 and step 7. Step 8, Windows updates. Now, usually Windows updates comes in the first Tuesday or the second Tuesday of every month. So they're automatically, if your updates, Windows updates is set automatically, I'll be showing you this, they will come down and all you have to do is install them. So setup takes, well, anything from 5 minutes or less, and usually requires a restart, but I'll show you this anyway. So it helps keep your computer more secure and reliable, and protecting your computer and your privacy. These updates include security and critical updates, as well as reliability improvements. So step 8 is Windows updates. So come down here to the start menu again, right click, go up to control panel, and make sure it's in categories, and you go to system and security, click on that guy, and the third one down here is Windows updates. Now if it's not on, you can turn it on by clicking on this guy here. Recommended that you have it turned on. I prefer to have it download updates, but let me choose whether to install them or not. This one installs them and downloads them automatically. Okay, it's completely up to you, whichever way you want to do it. And then just click OK. And oh yeah, just give me recommended updates, same way I receive important updates. So untick that guy, you don't want them. Give me updates for other Microsoft products when I update Windows. So untick those two boxes. So they're giving you stuff that you don't want on your system. So just leave it on the recommended settings and you'll be fine, and they'll do the updates every week and every month. And Windows is going to change. Windows 8 is going to change to Windows 9. So 2 years from now this will not be the case. So as soon as Windows 9 comes out, which will be early 2015 I think, we'll do another video on these kind of things, the updates and all that stuff. Okay, so that's it for Windows updates. Step 9, hardware driver updates. Checking and updating takes about 5 minutes, and you should check once every 3 to 6 months. There's a lot of confusion about drivers out there, but all you need to do here is make sure that you have the latest drivers for your system, and visiting the manufacturer's website. That's if it's a branded PC, then it's your Dells, your Lenovo's, their websites, or if you built the computer yourself, then it's the motherboard manufacturer's website. If drivers are corrupted on your system, they can cause all sorts of communication problems. So it's not so much updating them is so important, it's just having them running correctly. And it's just a check once every 3 to 6 months. So now Windows, so step 9, hardware driver updates. Now all you really need to know about hardware driver updates, we'll go to device manager. Okay, so right click on the icon there and come up here to the device manager, click on that and device manager will open. So this will show you all the drivers that are installed on your computer, that all your hardware needs to actually function with the operating system. So if you're having a problem with a certain, say like the likes of the network adapters, you'd see a down arrow if there was a fault with it, or a yellow exclamation mark saying that it wasn't installed correctly. If you double click on the driver, you'll see this device is working properly, and that's all good. And you have all these different areas that you can go into. The best thing to do is just leave it as it is. So go to the driver tab if you want to update a driver, and then all you do is you click update driver and search automatically for update driver software. Okay, so you just click that guy and it'll go out and it'll check for software from the manufacturer of that particular hardware. So it came back there with best driver software for your device is already installed. Now, with graphics cards, your manufacturer would be different, so you'd have to go through the software that came with your graphics card. They usually have an update service on that software, and you'll be easily able to check through that software. Now, chipset drivers, if you are having an issue, so system devices, this is where your chipset driver would be. I'm just going to change to Windows 7 and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to go to Manage, Device Manager. This is on Windows 7. So the only driver that you have to be concerned about with your computer is this guy here. So it's the chipset family. It's the driver for your motherboard. This communicates with everything on that's plugged into your computer, including the processor and the graphics card, and you know, it's just the kind of, it's a bus. It's the thing that communicates. So there's two chips, or it might be in one chip on your motherboard, and it's very important to make sure that this one is working properly. So if you right click on it there and go into properties, and you'll see that this device is working properly. And if you want to check the driver, click on update driver and go out and search. Another thing you want to watch here is, if you built the computer yourself, then you want to go through the manufacturer's website and see whether the correct up-to-date driver is there. Now, if there isn't a problem with a driver, don't update it. You're not going to get any speed difference. You might get a few extra features, but generally speaking, it's not really a thing that you need to do, unless you really want to have the latest driver. It's completely up to yourself, but your computer will work fine without updating the driver, as long as the driver is working correctly. So that's pretty much it with drivers. Step 10, memory levels. Checking takes about 2 minutes. Again, it's simple but very important to make sure that you have enough memory to run all the programs that you are using on your computer, especially the ones that you open at the same time. And it's a very quick check. So now, next one there is step 10, memory levels. So just to check your memory levels and see. So again, go into Task Manager, right click and go up here to Task Manager, and Performance tab, click on Performance tab there, and you'll see memory. So in this case, there's 1 gig of memory on this computer, and it's using half of it at the moment. So I'm going to open a couple of browsers here. We're going to open Firefox, and you see the way it's rising here, and I'm going to open Internet Explorer, and it has moved up again, so it's using more memory. Now every program that you open, I'm going to open Skype here as well, and you'll see it rise again a little bit. So the more programs you've opened, the more memory you're using on your computer. So if you open a file, same thing, it keeps on using memory. So the idea here is, if you're using a lot of programs, just make sure that you have enough memory. 4 gigs is good enough for most computer users, but if you're a high-end user, you'd want to be having 8, 12 and 16 gigs, or if you're playing a lot of games, you want at least 8 gigs as well. So it's just something to watch. Just open all the programs that you usually open and just check to see what level your memory is on. So this one is showing 70%. It would be a good idea to add more memory to this computer. So 4 gigs is usually good enough for normal computer use, and if you're a gamer or you use your computer with a lot of applications, then I would suggest 8 gigs or more. Okay, because memory will cripple a PC if you don't have enough on it. Step 11, backing up your data. Setup time takes about 5 minutes, runs on autopilot. Again, there is a lot of confusion and false information about how to back up your precious data correctly. It is not difficult to do. You just need to be shown one way that works well and runs on a schedule and only backs up what's really necessary. Step 11, backing up your data. Now, my advice to anyone with Windows 7 or Windows 8 is to back up your documents separately from all the different areas that you have stuff on your computer. So put in a USB external hard drive into your system and copy all the stuff onto that drive. It's the best way of keeping your computer from getting full, basically, and replace those external drives once every 2 years, because you don't know when they're going to fail either. So that's my advice to you, and use the cloud. There's Google has and so does Microsoft. So in Windows 8 you have a thing called OneDrive. So you can use this service, but you have to have a Microsoft account in order to use it. That's one way. That's a cloud service, and you get a certain amount. I think it's 5 gigs for free, and then you have Google Docs, which is also a free service. Google Docs, but Google have Google Drive, this guy here. So you can save stuff, pictures and all that stuff up here as well. Okay, so that's my advice to you. External drives for saving all your large files, pictures, movies, documents that you want to keep, but don't keep them on your computer for too long, as you never know when your computer is going to crash, and that way you'll have access to them all the time. Okay. Step 12, making a systems image. Setup time is about 5 minutes. In order to make a systems image, it takes about half an hour or 3/4, but you don't have to. You just set it to start, and you can come back to it when it's finished. So this is the most important part. Every computer owner should make a systems image or a clone of their drive. This will recover your computer from every kind of a problem or disaster, large or small. Step 12, making a systems image. Now in Windows 8 this is slightly changed. So what you have to do is go to file history. So this guy here, so type in file history there in the search bar and go to file history, and down here in the bottom you'll see systems image backup. Okay, and it will go, make sure that you have an external drive plugged in and all that. This is in VirtualBox, so I cannot show you to you on this, but if Windows 7, you just simply go to, and it's the same with Windows 8, it's just that I did set up in VirtualBox and I have a virtual drive and all the drives are going through that. That's why I'm not showing up here. Windows backup and restore is what it's called on Windows 7. So to create a systems image, you click on create. This would be the same way you'd click on create on Windows 7, Windows 8. You just click on this guy and it'll show up here like on Windows 7 here. Okay, so The system's image will work the same way on Windows 7. It's just set in a different location on Windows 8. So if you go to search and go to file history, okay, click it there, and you'll see you can turn it on if it's not on, and so good. So the system's image backup will be down here in the corner. So click on system's image, and it should be able to find a drive here. Now, because I'm using VirtualBox, this is set up slightly different, so I'm just going to show it to you. It's the exact same in Windows 7. So you click on Systems Image. I have videos here for this anyway, so it'll show up, and you can stick it on a hard drive and then click Next. So I have videos on this already. It's the exact same procedure with Windows 7, Windows 8. Okay. Step 13, refreshing the operating system. Usually about every 12 months is good enough. Now, Windows 8 has this new features on it for refreshing and say resetting the computer back to defaults, and they're very handy, and I will be explaining them when we get to that step when I'm showing you. So it removes viruses and damaged programs if they're causing a problem, and DIL errors, and any kind of a problem that you're having with your computer. If it's slow and the slowness is not caused by the disk drive, then it will be caused by the operating system, and refreshing the operating system clears all those problems. So refreshing your operating system in Windows 8, go down here to settings, and then go down to the very bottom and click change PC settings. And at the very bottom of PC settings, you'll see update and recovery. Click on that, and update and recovery will open, and then you go to recovery. And this gives you the option to refresh your PC without affecting your files. Get started. Just click on that guy and remove everything and reinstall Windows. So the difference between the two is it keeps all your data, your photos, your music, your videos, and your personal files. And the second one here will remove everything and reinstall Windows. So if you want to use the factory settings method, you will have to back up all the data that you want to keep, so to an external drive or up onto the cloud. Okay, so we're just going to show you how to refresh without affecting your files. So click get started, and it'll be preparing it, so it'll say please wait. So again, this is VirtualBox, and these files are not available to me here, but you will be given the option, and then you'll be able to click next here or OK. Okay, so that's how you do a refresh of your operating system. Again, if you need help with any of this stuff, just give us a shout here. I will be doing videos later on without using VirtualBox, so I can show you exactly how to do all this. Step 14. Upgrading, replacing parts. A hardware replacement plan saves money and keeps your PC up to date. Now, upgrading a computer is a very easy thing, but there are certain types of computers that cannot be upgraded, and namely the upgrade that I'm talking about here is the systems board. Now, laptops can't be upgraded, the systems board can't be upgraded. If you have a problem with a laptop and it's caused by the motherboard, then you can't really upgrade it. You can replace the systems board that is in the laptop, but you can't upgrade it, because that actual motherboard was made when the computers, the laptops were made. So they're old technology. So if your laptop is 2 years old and you have a problem with the laptop, then and it's the systems board is causing the problem, then what you have to do is find that board for that particular type of laptop and replace it. But what you're doing is you're getting technology that's already 2 years old. But desktops are perfectly and fully upgradable. Now, and the same problem occurs with the tablets as just like the laptops. Now, there's no learning curve to this system. You either apply it and have complete control over your computer, or you do not, and it will slow down, start giving trouble, and eventually lose everything. It's completely up to you whether you want to maintain your computer or you don't. I cannot decide that for you. But these are the steps that you need to take, and you don't need to be buying any extra software to actually maintain your PC. Everything you need is already on your computer, with the exception being your malware, spyware protection. So now I go and I'll show you the 14 steps in more detail. And step 14 then is upgrading, and this is the key if you want to have a computer that lasts a long time. You have to upgrade all the components in the computer every few years, and you do it in sections. So you start with the motherboard, RAM and processor, and then you move on to the power supply, graphics card if you have one, hard drive, and so on. And this way it's cheaper than buying a new computer. So you're basically adding components to the computer all the time as the years go by. And this step 14 and step 13, which is refreshing your operating system, is the only way that you're going to be able to keep a computer for the long haul, like for a long time. It's the only way that this will work, and having, of course, step 12 systems image in place as well, so that you can refresh your operating system if you don't have the facility on Windows 8 for refreshing the operating system. Now, refreshing an operating system, that can and does remove viruses. It removes DIL errors because you're resetting the registry. It removes all kinds of software program issues that you're having by refreshing your entire computer. So you're basically you have the systems image, which is basically a clone of your computer, and you're putting that back on to it. So if you want certain programs to work after the systems image, then you either reinstall them or you include them in the systems image when you're making it. So any problem that you're having with software, if you refresh your operating system, that will fix it. If it's just an issue with a program, then you're either reinstalling it after refreshing, or you have it included in the operating system, so it's as you installed it before you had a problem with it. So basically it's kind of moving the settings that were there previous to the problem. These things are important if you want to have as little hassle with your computer as possible. And these are the things. So refreshing the operating system, step 12, making a systems image, step 13, refreshing the operating system, and step 14, upgrading. And upgrading on a schedule. So a hardware replacement plan is what you really need if saving money and keeping things up to date is a concern of yours. That's pretty much it for these 14 steps. So I hope you've got something out of it. And if you're having issues or problems with any of these steps or anything else to do with computers, just let me know here on YouTube or on my website, Computer Help Made Easy. Okay, thanks for watching.